doing research on is that I made a comment last month that the self-funded insurance, the PSF, was over $280,000. They're gonna give us some recommendations of how we're gonna spend that down, or discussion of giving it back to the workers. And I disagree with that, so I got a phone call from somebody in Des Moines to see what we can do with that money. Then he just texted me, we are live now. What else is on there? A discussion of vehicles. So there's 7 vehicles that are listed on my worksheet here. They got 3 dealer quotes, one from Mike Mosted, one from Rydell, and one from Brown's. I know last month we said, let's get those prices and then see if any county wants those vehicles at those prices. And if not, and then go out to sell them to the dealerships at the highest bid. So Mike Mosted, Rydell Chevrolet, and Brown's out of Alcater, I believe. So those listed on our board packet. And then we still got to discuss laptops, phones, owl, projectors, card jump packs. Trying to close out CSS. In the next, 2 months? So that's what's on the agenda, all pending board approval. Otherwise, if there's no other committee assignment, discuss future agenda items. I've been working with Travis Squires, sent him an email last week to see if he's ready to present to us on what the bond would look like and how much and the interests. And then I guess it's up to us what projects we want to get started on, if any. So I'm working on that. Hopefully in the next future agendas, we will see Travis on the agenda. Also, in the next month or two, we need to get Roman Lensing and Joel Knutson's contracts done before July 1st. And then I guess let me know if you guys have an appetite for any RFP process. You know, we do have to renew our HR/union negotiator and our IT contracts. What's there a third one, Scott?
What are they?
Oh, a private auditor. So we'll have a discussion next week if we want to go out for RFPs for those 3 contracted services: HR union, IT, and then audit, private auditor for next fiscal year. Those 3 things would require RFPs to be sent.
So do you have to send an RFP?
We do not, but I think the board needs to decide if they want to stay on as is or look for some other option. And then we do have a request from the city of Nashua for abating some taxes on property. Otherwise, is there anything else that we're missing? Or do you guys want to start working on a project, capital project, to put on the agenda? If you do, let us know. Otherwise,
Has Chad done anything as far as building out there?
no, because it's been discussed in budget work session. Totally can be discussed again. We have some movement of this year, next year, capital project funds.
Can
If you want Chad to be up here, we can easily put him
Well,
on.
I was curious. We talked about it, I didn't know.
We did talk about it. What did you say, the future?
Okay, for the budget that we just certified, I will be cleaning up and putting everything away. Do you guys want paper copies of everybody's budget? Do you guys want me just to send them to you in the email, or in an email, and you guys are gonna arrange
I
it?
don't think so.
You want paper?
I just want PDF.
PDF or to me.
Yeah, save paper.
So PDF for everyone but Scott, or Travis.
You can send it to me too, but that won't take much.
So you want both?
Yeah.
Okay. That's all.
Otherwise, I don't know of anything else that we're missing to continue on.
And we're gonna discuss this national property next week.
It missed the deadline for me. I mean, I saw the letter came in, yeah, we're talking about next week.
Okay.
Otherwise, I think we should probably recess until 10:30. I'll declare recess at 10:18 here until 10:30. We got 10:30 back on Monday, April 21st. We'll call this to convene again. Engineer Roman Lunsing, good morning.
Morning.
We'll just go online here, review bids and award contract for Tide Chickasaw County Bridge Replacement Project, LFY 2601 7319 and LFY 2602 7319, supply and delivery of structural steel.
So this will be built by our bridge crews, but with the bid thresholds, we had to go out for letting for the material. We had 2 bids submitted, one by Odin Enterprises, one by Skyline Steel / Nucor Yamamoto. They were very close. They were well below the estimate, which I am happy with. So I do recommend awarding the project and authorizing me to sign the contract with Skyline Steel / Nucor in the amount of $91,537.50. And just for reference, this is one bridge is on Windsor Avenue, north of Little Turkey, currently posted. The other bridge is just a little bit north and east, over the same stream. Both posted, both need a replacement.
Motion to approve the low bid of $91,537.50 to Skyline Steel.
So,
Second.
Motion by Travis, second by Steve to approve the steel bid in the amount of $91,537.50 to Skyline Steel Corporation. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, anybody opposed? Motion carried.
And just for reference, there's gonna be a lot of work going on in that area in the next, year plus. On Vanderbilt, their Bridge 2000, that'll be a contract bridge, 150-foot slab. So this coming year, we're gonna try to get the one that is in the next bit agenda item, put in first, since it's on a pavement. But then we're gonna move to the one on Windsor, and prioritize that one. Hopefully get both done this construction season, but it'll be close. If not, we'll get the other one on 150th done next spring. So farmers and residents will have some closures to deal with, but I wanted the one on Windsor done prior to the one on Vanderbilt starting because of the detour way traffic flows. So there is quite a need for bridge replacements in that area. We got pretty heavily localized 3 bridges in about a square mile, so that are posted. But we're gonna get all them no longer posted, replaced, so.
Second one is review bids and award contract for Chickasaw County Bridge Replacement Project, LFM FY 2603 7X-19, supply and set of precast concrete box culvert.
So this is on B22. Wanted to get this replaced before we go through with our paving project, around this time next year as well. Bid prices, we received 3 bids. The low bid was Minowa Construction in the amount of $125,910. Very happy with all the bidders that submitted. The prices were great. Kind of shows me precast. We haven't done a precast box since 23, which we were still dealing with the COVID pandemic, and we saw a dramatic rise in prices around that time. It appears that they've stabilized, if not came down, so I recommend awarding the contract to Minowa Construction.
Is there a motion to approve the Minowa Construction Inc. in the amount of $125,910?
I'll make the motion.
second.
Motion by Steve, second by Travis to award this concrete precast box culvert to Minowa Construction Inc. in the amount of $125,910. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, anybody opposed? Motion,
No, sorry,
no, go ahead.
that one will be done by our crews as well. Minowa's just supplying the box, running a crane, but we'll do all the other work, so.
Department update, Roman?
Is that the next one? Yep, okay. Department update for last week, blades were out Monday through Thursday, we had rain Thursday night into Friday, so did not go out do routine blading on Friday. We were hauling spot rock all week. We got a stack of tickets. If you guys wanna see it. Mostly Fredericksburg blade route area, but then a lot of New Hampton blade route areas as well as some of the others, but those were the ones that we're really focused on last week. Bridge crew was busy with erosion control, guardrail repair, doing some brushing, cleaning bridge decks on hard surface roads, preparing for epoxy coating, to prevent further corrosion or reinforcement through the cracks. We were out retrieving shoulders on hard surface roads. Southeast corner, or quadrant is done, working on the northeast last week into this week, and they will move to the west. Pretty typical in the signs, or in the sign department shop. Sam did a great job of getting all quotes, which are on the agenda in the next 4 items. We also did get an update. Our John Deere tractor is now in the hands of Dan Moore. To get all that installed, so we'll be picking that up soon. We're gonna pick it up ourselves to avoid the shipping costs, since we got a good semi and a lowboy trailer to go pick it up ourselves now. Not sure on that exact cost, but I know it was around 1,500 or maybe more. As far as the engineer's office goes, we are still planning on Bridge 2400 on the Caldwell Blacktop to start next week. They'll probably close the road. They're gonna verify towards the end of the week so we can make sure our detour and everything's ready for Monday. So there will be a detour up through Alta Vista and then west and south back to the past Deerfield quarry. Probably start on bridge removal next week. We'll see what the water does as far as starting on a pier. Never know this time of year. Same with Bridge 0270. That bridge demo has been completed. They've been moving in equipment, preparing for pile driving. They were gonna start this morning, but water's kind of an issue. They're gonna see what it does today. But we'll start pounding pile this week on that. Kenwood Avenue project, we got main line paved, from the south intersection north, just short of Kroll's North driveway. About 2,800 feet was done in a day, which is a good chunk to get done. We also poured the radiuses, turn lane at the south end on Friday. Liza and Ben were kind enough to watch over that for our holiday half day. Today they are starting again on pavement removal on the north end. So I think we're gonna probably be maybe paving on Wednesday. So if we're lucky, by the end of the week, maybe all concrete work will be done. Then we can start thinking about shouldering, sub-drain, paint. Seems like they're on track. They've been doing a great job, so no complaints there. We did do a pay estimate 1 at the end of last week to get them some payment on that. Let's see, as far as design development work, that's ongoing with many structures and roads. Concept statement was approved for Bridge 1300 on 190th Street. DOT approved that. We got the funding agreement fully executed. Bridge 2000, which I spoke about on Vanderbilt, North Little Turkey, funding agreement was generated. We're still working on plans on both of those structures, as well as 2770 and 19680, which are part of that grant with the feds that we're hoping to hear word on hopefully any week now. 2026 pavement markings, got that project activated in TPMS. Me and Nick and Howard County spoke. We're planning on letting that under the same contract. 2 separate plan sets under the same contract to try to save on mobilization costs, maybe get a better unit price. For a long time, Howard County was just doing pavement markings out of their local budget, because years ago they were getting a better price by not having DOT oversight on it. But then they saw our bid tabs from 24 and they were very similar. So now we're gonna team up, hopefully save both counties some money. That would be a February letting. Aside from that, we got soil borings coming up on 3 structures. We approved the quote with Terracon on that. So we'll be seeing that on those 3 structures at random points. The 2 on the gravel roads, Bridge 2000, Bridge 1300, will probably close those roads for a day or 2, take the signs down at night. Bridge 2770 will try to maintain traffic, because that'll be under our detour for Bridge 2400, so we'll be having flaggers on that. 2026 5-year program, state budget was fully approved and completed by DOT as well as you guys last week. Contracts for limestone resurfacing are fully executed now. Tyler spoke with Bruning's rep on the west side. They plan to start west half of the county in early May. Not positive on the east side yet, but I would assume it'd be shortly after. And then I don't know if you guys are all aware, I did reach out to Ehlers and Cooney, Jason Comiskey, in regards to the TIF project, the secondary roads. You know, our west end of our shop was qualified as blight, and in discussions we've had previously about possibly moving our offices out there, the engineer's office, we could either have it be attached to that structure, or we could have it be detached, and it would still be qualified as blight remediation, and eligible for TIF. So I don't know if that's something we want to start talking about. I know it seemed that conservation's project that was kind of the first one out of the gate is, I don't believe, being sought after anymore because Chad wants it at his location. So I didn't know if it's in your guys' interest to maybe start thinking about these things, whether it be, I don't know if we could move the entire project up, or potentially, let's say if we did a detached office, 40 by 40, we could do that project and then keep the one for the west end bays for our storage as scheduled. The reason I would like to do that, for one, noise in the office, try to keep that at a minimum, but that's not the biggest thing. My biggest thing is we have our lab, materials lab is in there, and our survey equipment is in there. So when we rip that building down, where are we gonna have a lab? We kind of need power, plumbing, all that stuff to test our materials. So on that token, I would suggest in the southwest corner with New Hampton setbacks, for zoning, or we could request a variance, or at the very least, I guess I would request that we could have our offices be part of the original project, to get us by our staff. I don't like being away from 26 of my employees, so. And we need that storage area.
Would that standalone building also be, we talked a little bit about a wash bay too?
No, so by not having our offices be part of the reconstruction of the west storage bays, we would eliminate our lab, we would eliminate the area where our survey equipment is, and we wouldn't be putting this new need for office space there. We could make our wash bay bigger to actually accommodate the equipment we have. And we could maybe add, you know, if we could go as far as we can, get as much equipment in there as we can. I mean, equipment's not cheap. If we can house as much of our equipment indoors, it's gonna have that much longer of a life. I wish that we had more room to have a pull-through wash bay so we could get, whether it be an excavator on a low boy, just pull it right in and wash it all up, but I don't think that our lot is, just because to the north there, you wouldn't be able to turn out of the building, the way it's set up. I wish we had something like Fayette County has, but that's just not what we got, so. But it would be nice to at least have it be long enough to get a maintainer in, close the door, and wash the equipment, so.
So I did mention a little bit ago, have Travis Squires come up, but I think the talks need to start. Just because of the December 1st deadline, if we want to go out for TIF.
So I guess that's my suggestion with what I've seen with conservation, unless Chad has different thoughts now, but I thought that's what I gathered previously when we kind of,
I think that's where he's at.
so, just so you guys are aware, that's all I got for department update.
Any questions for Roman? If not, review and approve Iowa Department of Transportation Federal Aid Agreement for a County Highway Bridge Program Project, BRLS, CL 19-120-8J-19.
So this is bridge number 2000, which talked about on Vanderbilt Avenue North B33 over the Little Turkey River. We got this designed at a 150-foot slab, which thank God that fit. This would be all paid for by our Highway Bridge Program dollars administered through the DOT. Since it's not a farm to market road, of course, we will have to budget for it. Initially spend locally, but the local budget would be reimbursed by that program, so. pretty standard as far, this is the fourth one we've done this year, so.
Anybody wanna see this, or did you?
I think I sent this to you guys, didn't I?
Is there a motion to approve with board chair signature?
So,
Is there a second?
sorry,
Motion by Travis, second by Scott to approve the Iowa Department of Transportation Federal Aid Agreement for a county highway bridge project. And authorize chair signature. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Motion carried. The next four things got added, reviewing quotes and approved purchase of said equipment per the county purchase policy. Roman.
So just on all of these, we don't know what tariffs are gonna do. And on that same subject, we've done this in years prior. Not so many of these have the issue, but the sign truck does. We need to kind of pull the trigger because you're at about an 8-month waiting period. I don't want it to go into FY '27 when we need it in FY '26. We've needed it for a while, so the sign truck is one there, but tariffs, I don't know what they're gonna do with prices, so we kind of figured, let's move on these, get our name in the list and go forward. So the sign truck, our current sign truck is a 2004 Freightliner. It has over 11,000 hours on it, multiple frame issues. I'll leave it at that. Hydraulic system is very tired, weak. We would plan to auction this off, whether it be Gut Deals or Purple Wave. We received 2 quotes. One other bidder was non-responsive or declined to quote. So expected delivery, like I said, would be in December, maybe January. Aspen Equipment quoted $240,000, and both of these quotes submitted are a Mack MD7 truck. $240,000 for Aspen. This is the one that Sam and myself are suggesting we approve. So this truck through Aspen would provide space for our catwalk. It has a new crane, new auger drive, and a 2-person man basket. It has the same bed length as our existing truck, which allows us to have equipment. We can haul equipment off down equipment. If we have something break down and we need to haul a V-plow, we need to haul blades, anything, this has the room to haul it. We can lift it on there. So that's $240,000 through Aspen Equipment. Stellar, same Mack MD7, but a shorter bed, so we would not be able to haul any of this equipment. There's no room for our catwalk, which is a benefit to our sign crew as well as the safety aspect. It's just not so much tailored to our needs as well as Aspen is. That one's $222,308.40. So basically, for the ability to haul additional equipment, to handle what we have for catwalks, and set up for what we use it for, we are recommending that we purchase it through Aspen for $240,000.
These 4 purchases are for next year's.
For FY '26. And all within budgeted amount.
Yeah, fair enough. Is it Stella? Is it
Stellar.
Stellar? Do they bid the same thing, or they just have a smaller bed?
Well, it's the same truck, but it's a smaller bed, and it won't accommodate our catwalk as well as all the other equipment. So Sam worked with them. They weren't as receptive to building into our needs as Aspen was.
Gotcha.
And IMT was another one that we talked with, and they just kind of basically declined to quote. I don't know if they're too busy or they didn't want to build it to our specs, so. And I personally have dealt with Stellar and IMT. I haven't dealt with Aspen, but I do like Stellar's crane quality a lot more than IMT's, but that's on service trucks for changing tires, so totally different route.
Is there a motion to approve purchase policy, the engineer's recommendation?
So,
Is there a second?
second.
Motion by Scott, second by Steve to go with the $240,000 Mack from Aspen for the sign truck. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Motion carried. Half-ton passenger truck per purchase policy.
So this half-ton pickup would be for one of the assistants, Ben, currently driving number 3, which was a fleet vehicle. And it was a heavily utilized fleet vehicle, and we would put it back in that position. It does have 180,000 miles on it. So it's a 2005 Chevy, so it's 20 years old. The amount of miles that these two assistants are putting on, not to mention the fact that when something's being done, they have to get there. I like to have them in a very reliable vehicle because their construction projects kind of rely on them being there for federal funding. So this would be a half-ton pickup. Ford, we did not get a quote as we've done in previous years because they're out of county. Stu Hansen, they are not available, which would be a Dodge 1500, not available for state bid any longer. And their state bid price was $49,425. Carl Auto Group for a GM, or a Chevy half-ton pickup, Silverado, was $47,424.30. So that is who I am recommending. Comes with a 3-year, 36-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty and a 5-year, 60,000-mile powertrain warranty.
So Stu Auto for how much?
I'm recommending Carl Auto Group for $47,424.30 because they were the lowest bid and the only one that had state pricing available. They were still lower than Stu Hansen's state bid, but they can't get state bids anymore. So it's our lowest option.
Is there a motion approved for the half-ton passenger truck? Carl Auto.
So,
Is there a second? Motion by Steve, second by Travis to approve the half-ton passenger truck per the purchase policy for secondary roads from Carl Auto. $47,424.30.
Yep.
Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Motion carried. Review quotes and approve purchase of a 1-ton truck per the Chickasaw County purchase policy.
So right now we have 2-tonner trucks, but we have 2 skid loaders, we have a Durapatcher, and hopefully we'll have a mini excavator. The trucks that we had before probably were not adequate to be hauling our new heavier skid loaders. A lot of times with 2, we run into conflicts where we don't have enough equipment to haul the equipment that we need to go do work. So we're suggesting purchasing a new tonner truck, which was discussed in budget. Pretty much same story as the half-ton. Low quote was Carl Auto, 2025 Chevy Silverado 3500 HD, $47,916.05. Let me just verify my. $47,916, no cents.
$47,916.
Yep, and then Stu Hansen, again, not available for state bid, but if it was $48,294. Kind of amazing that a tonner truck is only slightly more than a half-ton, but I would assume it's a lot with the cab. This would be a regular cab.
So the 1-ton truck per purchase policy is $47,916, 3500 HD, Carl Auto.
Correct.
Is there a motion to approve?
Roll.
Is there a second?
alright,
Motion by Travis, second by Scott to approve this 1-ton pickup truck. Carl Auto, $47,916. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Motion carried. Last one, review quote and approve purchase of a mini excavator per Chickasaw County purchase policy.
So many reasons that we feel that we need a mini excavator. We did look into used options, but the new prices were actually pretty feasible and just what you get compared to what are you gonna get with used. Most people are not nice to mini excavators that own them. But aside from that, multiple uses in bridge and culvert maintenance, where all we have is a full-size excavator trying to get it to do a small job in a ditch. It's gonna save wear and tear on that machine, wear and tear on the ground, on our right of way. Even our steel track excavator, we gotta put tires underneath when we cross roads. It's saving labor, saving all that. Tile repair stuff, saving other equipment. So skid loaders right now, if we have erosion control under a bridge, or we're building a new bridge and putting erosion control, those skid loaders at an angle on, erosion stone or revetment, the tracks do not hold up to that at all, as well as the gears, everything. It's just not good for them. We have rented on multiple occasions mini excavators, and they're right around $1,500 each time we utilize them. The list goes on as far as uses that we'll find for these things. A lot of them we might not even know yet, but having that piece of equipment, it's gonna be, I think, a huge asset to getting stuff done with minimal damage. So all these options have enclosed cabs, hydraulic pumps, quick couplers. Our first choice would be Ziegler Cat's quote. This would be for a Ziegler Cat 305, $75,825. Talking with Sam, which he did majority of the research on this. Best serviceability, we have Cat ET software, so we're able to diagnose any problems with it on our own. Or anything that's not a colossal repair, which hopefully we don't have any of those. Ziegler's local dealer, they've been great to work with. You've got services there, parts availability. The warranty comes as well with a 2-year, so the warranty is 2-year, 2,000 hours, and they include a parts kit for the first 1,000 hours, which is basically your first service, your filters and all that stuff comes with that price. So we get those maintenance items included. Choice number 1 is a Takuchi CR compact excavator. That would be through Star Equipment. That's $71,550. They are located in Waterloo. We don't have diagnostic equipment for that or the software, so we'd be taking it to Waterloo anytime there's something we can't diagnose. So they are less by $4,000, but where do we draw the line on location, serviceability, proximity? The third quote was Titan Machinery out of Center Point for a Case CX50D. That was $77,700. Again, no diagnostic equipment. You're talking Center Point, Iowa for service. So Sam and I are recommending to award it to Ziegler Cat with the 305 for $75,825. If you guys don't want to do that, we kind of decided that Takuchi would be our second choice. Excuse me.
What's wrong with your second choice? They
The
don't
one,
understand.
Star Equipment,
Ziegler was 75,825.
$75,825. Star Equipment is $71,550. But again, cons of Cat or Ziegler would be, we have Cat ET software already, their location, proximity, and then the pro for Star Equipment would be it's $4,000 less. But in the lifetime of that equipment, I guess it's $4,000 worth it to not be diagnosing your own problems if they do arise. I would hope with a new piece of equipment that doesn't happen for a long time, but you never know.
Any discussion by the board?
This was included in the budget too, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd make a motion to purchase the Cat 305 from Ziegler for $75,825 per Chickasaw County purchase policy.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Steve, second by Isaac to approve the Ziegler Mini X, $75,825. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Motion carried.
Well, I remember it, with our construction projects coming in, I'm incredibly happy with our bids. When we do a budget amendment, if we do a budget amendment, I may shift some of that money towards maintenance. Or if something comes up in the meantime. I'm not saying that I wanna do a FY '26 budget amendment now, but if you guys start talking about one next fall, next winter, I might come in with some of that to shift that money because we can't utilize it in construction for maintenance, so. But I thought today was great news for all of our bid projects, so.
Roland,
Go ahead.
can I come over later to get your quotes so I can put them in the next things?
When it comes time to sell some stuff, I was approached by a guy. He said he'd do the same thing as Purple Wave and, or whatever,
To sell it?
to sell.
Oh, he wants to sell?
Yeah.
Okay,
It'd be through auction time.
we'll talk on it.
Yeah.
Sam was handling a lot of that Purple Wave. It worked out pretty good, but yeah, if there's other options too, or list on both, whatever. So, we'll talk.
Yeah, so you
Thank you guys.
Thank you. Anything else for discuss future agenda items that we talked in the past? Did I miss anything that otherwise, is there a motion to adjourn?
So,
Is there a second?
Sorry.
Motion by Travis, second by Scott to adjourn on 11:01. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Motion carried. Thank you.
Well, I hope everybody has a good week.
I'm gonna take this with me because I have a community assignment tonight.
Okay.